Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of See Yourself Grow with Tina. For those of you who don't know me, I am Tina Kalura. I am the founder and CEO of the See Yourself and Your Business Grow coaching and consulting firm. And today we're talking about 3 ways to stop blaming and start claiming your life. So stop waiting for life or business to be easy. Stop hoping for someone to save you. Stop blaming. Stop complaining. You only need yourself and no one else to get stuff done. Only you can tell yourself to stop feeling sorry for yourself. Only you can tell yourself that you are worthy and you're amazing of all the possibilities. And only you can determine what your next steps are going to be. So wake up, show up, and watch the magic happen. I heard something really cool this morning that made me think, and here's how it goes. A man who loves walking will walk further than a man who loves the destination. When you love the journey, your goals will just start happening. You'll start hitting milestones even without trying. And these are the side effects of the activities that you're doing on your journey. So what does the journey consist of? It consists of trying something. It consists of sucking at it. It consists of failing, getting up and trying again and start over. So when you are in love with the journey, everything else will take care of itself. Have you ever wondered why or how the blame game actually impacts your success? Well, when people are playing the blame game, it means that everyone is blaming each other for the mistakes or problems that are happening rather than acknowledging their individual role in what might have gone wrong or what could have caused the lack of success. Now, I want you to ask yourself, does this sound familiar? I did not have enough time to complete this task. Why? Because you're waiting for time to expand. I wasn't able to do what I needed to do because I was waiting for so and so to give me this. Well, the moment you blame is the moment you lose. You're losing control. When you lose control, everything is decided by someone else or by something else. So breaking free from the blame game is no small task. And I have the great pleasure of interviewing Lisa McGrath, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But the rewards can be immense. Now, I'm constantly telling people rock responsibility. And I had to tell myself that too. 2 years ago, had something tragic happen in my life that affected me, my best friend, who was also my virtual assistant, and my business. She lost her husband, and that sent us both into a downward spiral. So obviously, I didn't realize how much I depended on her to help me, be present on social media, to push me when I was feeling down. And after 1 year, she said, okay, I'm ready to jump back in. And she really wasn't. So I was like all gun ho, ready to start launching all my products and services again to the fullest of potential because I thought that she was ready to go. And you know what? Some of the first events didn't follow through the way I thought they were. Now, I could have blamed her because she wasn't posting or she wasn't doing her part. But in the end, I had to rock responsibility. It is my business. Everything is my responsibility, right? So the link between a blame-oriented mindset and a stalled growth mindset is inevitable. A mindset that avoids responsibility is stagnating your growth, okay? So make a promise to yourself daily to do something to help your mind, body, and soul, and catch yourself when you are about to start shifting blame and give away your power. Okay. So next week, I'm actually hosting a free See Your Network Grow social event, and it's going to be happening from 12 to 1:30. It's going to be an event where you're able to share what's working, what's not working. You're able to share what you got going on. There's no selling, there's no pitching. So if you're interested in joining a community event, I want you to click on the link in the comments below. I'll be posting it after our interview, or you could just type See My Network Grow, both on Facebook and on LinkedIn. Now, I believe that being part of a community is all about lifting each other up and calling each other out on our crap when we are about to shift blame or when we're about to make excuses. But I have, like I said, the great pleasure of interviewing Lisa. And Lisa is an entrepreneur. She is a personal mindset coach with over 15 years of experience cultivating relationship and guiding people through their personal growth to reach new levels of satisfaction in their work, their relationships, and their personal life. So, Lisa is most excited to help others shift their perspectives and push past their current limitations to confidently arrive at living their definition of professional and personal success. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Lisa.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here with you.
Excellent. I'm excited as well. And you know what? Thank you for taking the time, Lisa, today to be here to tell our audience more about the problems that you're seeing with your clients when it comes to blaming. What are you seeing? Let me hear.
Yeah, well, I'm going to echo a lot of what you have already covered, which is great because you and I are completely on the same page. The biggest problem is that they are throwing up their hands and giving over control to other people and circumstances. And that is really preventing them from claiming what they want most in their life.
Yeah.
When they say, you did this to me, you made me feel this way, you prevented me from having this or doing that, what they're doing is they're giving over that control, right? They are saying in essence, they're saying, well, you're controlling me, you're controlling my feelings, and you're controlling my outcomes.
Mhm.
And more problems creep in when we feel powerless or we feel like our free will is being limited.
Right. Oh, that's powerful. Yes. And you know what? It's so easy to say these things, Lisa. When I find that, when we're on the outside as coaches and consultants, we could see the self sabotaging happening when people are so close to it, right? What are some of the repercussions with not taking responsibilities with your thoughts or your actions?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. From the outside, we can clearly see it, but from the inside, it's rather messy and cloudy for us. And without that clear sense of self and autonomy, we begin to lose sight of our personal purpose and our free will to guide the direction that we want to go in. So let's be clear that what we're talking about when it comes to blaming is in how we respond to an event or an action that's not in our favor. I'll give you an example. So someone's actions may have derailed plans for you, and that's the fact. How you respond will make a difference in how you process the setback and how quickly you recover to get your plans back on track, which is something that you talked about in your intro when it came to your business and your assistant. So if you stop to blame, you would have slowed down and deepened those feelings of disappointment for yourself. And that would have prolonged the time to accept what's happening, and then, really turn and source a strategy that would create an idea for your best next move.
Yeah, exactly. And again, Lisa, like we have to take responsibility for our own thoughts, our own actions. And I even remember like growing up, anytime I was about to blame, my mother for bad decisions that I was making in a relationship, my brother's like, no, 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 no. You're 18 now. Any decision you make, that's your responsibility. She did her part. It's so easy though. It's so easy to shift that blame away from yourself, right? And listen, you and I both know there are so many tips and tricks that we could follow, but if you had to pinpoint maybe, let's say, 3 tips right now to help with the stopping of the blaming and the claiming of your life, what would be some of those tips be?
Well, you're right on point. And so first I'd like to acknowledge that we are living in very stressful times on multiple fronts.
Yeah.
And we are all experiencing higher levels of burnout and exhaustion. So when we aren't properly resourced, it feels much easier to blame others than to take responsibility. And complaining then feels like a way of letting off steam. So it's with full compassion and the intention to be helpful that we're having this discussion today. So, moving into my first tip, it would be to clarify what you are responsible for versus what you're responsible to. It's a very interesting distinction that I hope will help others. So, when you're really responsible for yourself, and not to, and meaning with the exception of, because there's always this exception, with the exception of young children and the elderly who need hands-on care, you really are only responsible for yourself.
Mhm.
Now, I bring this up because a lot of complaints that I hear are from people who are overwhelmed and feeling unappreciated with all the things that they have on their plate. It just becomes too much.
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, they're not taking responsibility, they're not doing their bit. And so the blaming and the complaining starts. But look at your plate and ask yourself, what's on this plate right now that really is my responsibility? What is it that I'm really responsible for? Right? And so by taking that responsibility, you get to control what really is on your plate. Now, when it comes to being responsible to people, you're responsible to share your honesty with people. You're responsible to be kind and respectful, helpful, and to, deliver on your commitments. These are responsibilities to people. But taking responsibility for someone else's actions and the outcomes that roll off from that, like you mentioned about, blaming your mom for your dating choices, that's not going to go anywhere that is going to be helpful to you or anyone else.
Good point. Yeah, absolutely. And I love that. Ask yourself, what's on your plate? And you know what? We usually resist or have a friction with things that we cannot control, right? So when you're about to start nitpicking about who is responsible for what, look inward first. Right. Always look at what's going on in your life. I always say people who are lashing out, it's not about the other person. It's usually about something that's going on with them, right? So,
100%.
yeah, I love that. Rock responsibility. Be responsible for yourself, what's on your plate, what's within your control. So, can you tell us maybe about some aha moments that you've had with your clients that have made you realize that you're doing amazing work? What does that look like?
Well, you know what? I had a really great text recently from a client, and the text went something like, what have you done to me? I feel like a badass. And so,
Ooh, that's cool.
right? I know. And so when we started working together in the spring, she was allowing this really toxic environment to affect her. And when I say allowing, I mean choosing to stay in the toxic environment. So she was saying, coming in, and she was very upset, and she was saying, this isn't working, it's so awful there, and so forth. And through working together after a few months, she made the brave decision to quit the toxic work environment. She made the brave decision to stop blaming the workplace for what it is, because she knew that she could never actually affect the culture of the organization. So if her mental health is at stake, then it's up to her to remove herself from that situation. So she did that, and she took responsibility for her well-being and started to reach out and look for other jobs. She managed to land 3 exceptional positions, offers for positions, and accepted the one that was the best fit for her. And after only a few months, she learned that a senior level position had opened up, and she marched right into her VP's office and asked to be considered for the position. And that's when she texted me, what have you done to me? I feel like a badass.
Nice.
Because before working together, she wouldn't have considered taking the lead and boldly asking for what she wanted. she wouldn't have taken the responsibility of putting herself up there and leaving behind all the things that had happened in the past. And so her whole outlook of who she is and what she's capable of, and what she wants for herself really came into focus, and she moved away from blaming and into claiming. And I'm so
Nice.
proud of her.
Oh, that is amazing, Lisa. Congratulations on your success with her. And you know what? I love hearing those amazing, successful stories because you know what? It solidifies the reason why we do what we do, right? So,
Absolutely, yeah, and
yeah,
she did the deep work of listening and working it out and being clear,
yeah.
and then stepping up. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So is there anything that you'd like to discuss that we haven't touched upon so far as it relates to blaming or complaining and
Well,
claiming your life? Yeah.
yeah, you know what? Well, I promised 3 tips, so I'll give you 2 others quickly. The second
Sure.
one you had actually touched on earlier, which was, you know, being be becoming a victim, right? And so when you say things like, "You did this to me and you made me upset," you're really victimizing yourself, and feeling like a victim may get you some sympathy, and there, "Oh, isn't that awful that that happened to you?" But really, it doesn't move you from feeling that way into moving towards something more positive to take care of yourself. So we have to stop playing that victim game for sure. And then the other tip is about self sabotage, which you also mentioned earlier. And you know what? People don't realize it, but putting out a blame of, I don't, people who are afraid to show up on camera, for example, which is really common. I don't have the right lighting and I don't know how to edit the videos. And you're putting blame on all these external things that are keeping you from showing up on camera. But
Yeah.
you've got to stop that, because that's actually a mechanism for self sabotage. Instead, you know what? Bring it in. Ask, what is my responsibility to myself right now and the outcomes I want, and how it is that I can really show up and stop putting the blame on all these other things, and really put in an effort that I can be proud of.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So good. So powerful, Lisa. You know what? We don't realize how much we have control over our thoughts and the outcome that we possess, right? The power of our mind, I think, is so intentional, and we need to be intentional with our thoughts, right? So with that being said, do you have anything special coming up or anything you got going on that we can help promote for you today?
Yes, actually, I do. So on January 31st, I am starting a new workshop, and it is 8 sessions long. So we meet once a week on a Wednesday for about 45 minutes. So over the lunch hour from 12 to 12:45.
Okay.
And we'll do that. And the workshop is called Start Something Special, because most of us have an area in our life where we may feel stuck or stagnated. And you know what? We've gotten used to living with it, but we know it could be better. So if 2024 is a year where someone's deciding to do life differently, signing up for the workshop could be the start of something special for them.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so amazing. Well, Lisa, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to join me today, for sharing your insights, your expertise. And we're going to be putting the link to your course in the comments, both on Facebook and LinkedIn. But how, like, for people listening, how can people get in touch with you? What's the best way for people to reach out?
Well, definitely DM me directly. That's the easiest one. You're already on the platform, so reach out. But my company name is Kavea Studio, and you can certainly go on there, have a look around. The workshop I'm talking about will be on there, and you can sign up from there. Also, you can connect with me through the website, because the contact page is there. Reach out for sure. I'm happy to have a conversation with anybody who needs some support.
Oh, that's amazing. Listen, Lisa is a wonderful person. We just met last Thursday, but I feel like I've known Lisa forever. And the interactions that I've had with her have been amazing. Hence the reason I am broadcasting her out to my network. So Lisa, again, thank you so much for meeting with us today, for sharing, and I look forward to seeing you and your business grow.
Thank you. I've thoroughly enjoyed the chat. I'm so happy I was here. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, Lisa, I'm just going to wrap things up. So, I'm going to put you backstage and feel free to hang out. Or if you have to go, I totally get it. But thank you once again. All right. Well, there you have it, everyone. She is an amazing person. And listen, take her up on her offer. Have a look around on her website. And you just never know, if she is the right coach for you. So, as I said, I just want to share a couple of more things on how to really embrace the claiming your life mindset. So, cultivate self-awareness. Everything starts with us. You need to embrace and be proactive and be a problem solver, and maybe practice more resilience. Seek out continuous improvement, because if we're not acknowledging that we did something wrong, I always say there's no such things as mistakes, only learning opportunities. And I'm going to put a list of a couple of books in the comments around mindset and taking ownership. So I'll put those in the comments. I just found them doing some research, preparing for this live. So again, if you are looking for a community to share your successes, talk about what's working, what's not working, what you could be doing better, feel free to join our networking group on January 25th. See Your Network virtual social event. No selling. You don't have to be in business, but if you want to be surrounded by like-minded people, that's where you want to be. So I'll be putting that in the comments. And as always, have a look around on my website, seeyourselfgrow.com, so that we can help you grow in 2024. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the day. Bye, everyone.